ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו. We read the Torah in the synagogue several times a week, on Mondays, on Thursdays, Saturday afternoon, but the main reading is really Shabbat in the morning. But it's a tremendous, wonderful thing. We read the same chapters in every synagogue in the world, so that if you're traveling, you go to a different synagogue, or even in your own city, they can't surprise you with what they're going to read in the Torah, because it is prescribed on this Sabbath, you read those and those chapters. Question is, what is the reading of the Torah? The reading of the Torah is really a study period. You listen to the words of the Torah and you try to internalize them. You try to live by them. You learn something while you listen to the reading of the Torah. Question, is this reading of the Torah obligatory, mandated by the Torah itself? Or is it something that the rabbis instituted? Well, we believe that this is something that the rabbis instituted, not the Torah itself. Except for one paragraph. One paragraph in Deuteronomy and Devarim, in Ki-Teitzei, at the end of Ki-Teitzei, says, Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek. Remember what Amalek did to you when you went out of Egypt. They attacked you from the rear. They tried to destroy you. You have to remember, you must erase any memory of this people called Amalek. Who is this Amalek? Today we no longer know. Maimonides says that this mitzvah cannot be fulfilled today because we don't know who Amalek is. Yet, I always ask myself, why is it that the Torah tells us to remember something negative? You have to erase the memory of Amalek. Couldn't they find something a little bit more positive? Maybe because of the word Zachor, remember. Well, it says in the Torah, Leman tizkor et yom tzeitcha me'eretz Mitzrayim. Remember the day that you left Egypt. Now I ask you, which is more important? To take care of this Amalek? To erase his memory? Or is it more important to remember the exodus of Egypt? Yetziat Mitzrayim. It means that we are against slavery. We are telling the whole world that no man has the right to be the master of anybody else. We are all created in the image of God. We all have God-given rights. We went out of Egypt, then we received the Torah. That is 10 times, 100 times more important than Amalek. Well, maybe the other one says Zachor in the imperative. Remember that you must erase the memory of Amalek. And this is in order that you should remember. Well, I can give you an example of a remembering. It says Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekadsho. Remember, you have to sanctify the day of the Sabbath. And the day of the Sabbath even precedes the Torah. Because when God created the world, he worked for 6 days. On the 7th day, he rested. It's part of the world. Isn't that more important? Listen, that gave a day of respite, of tranquility, of leisure to a slave. Everybody rested on the Sabbath day. It was a revolutionary notion. Isn't that more important than erasing the memory of Amalek? Well, maybe the Torah meant something altogether different. What the Torah was trying to tell us is that in order to fulfill any mitzvah, you have to be alive first. If you're not alive, you can't do anything. It says in Tehillim, Lo hametim yahallelujah. The dead do not worship God. You must be alive first. If you don't live, you can't do any good. You can't love. You can't do anything. So the most important thing, I think, for a leader, for a political leader, the president of a country, the leader of a community, he has to ensure the life of everybody, the security, the survival, the most important function of a father. He's got to make sure the physical integrity of his family. Forget about feeding them or doing anything else. If they are not alive, they won't have any need to be feeding, to be fed. The most important thing is to be alive. And maybe this is what the Torah is telling us. And we Jews have proven through thousands of years of exile, of difficulties, of persecutions, that we survive. We are survivors. The most important thing is to know how to defend ourselves. Why did Amalek want to destroy the Jewish people? I really don't know. The Torah doesn't specify. There is some hate that is inexplicable. We can't really reason with it. So remember, your first duty is to stay alive. Your first duty toward your fellow man is to protect him, that he should be able to, that he should live and enjoy this world. Because to do good in this world, you first must be alive.